open-ish world, core RPG Pokemon game that you can walk around with a friend and play with.
We got it! Hey everybody, I'm Jammer, and wow, what a whirlwind of news it was yesterday. And in case you couldn't keep up, I know I couldn't. Way to announce this last second, Pokemon Company, seriously. There was a rumor, there was something going around that maybe towards the end of the week we're going to see something closer to Thursday, but not last night. I was not ready for that, but pff, I did what I could. If you haven't seen my reaction to the Pokemon Let's Go trailer, link somewhere, go check that out. I talk about at least my reactionary impressions, but like I said yesterday, it was too much, it was overwhelming. I couldn't, like, properly dissect my thoughts just because it was just, the adrenaline was rushing after that trailer, man. And there was even more news to come out after I did that video because obviously I was busy doing that video. So today's video is kind of just a recap what kind of happened yesterday, analyze the trailers a little bit, as well as, you know, give you my full impressions in a non-screaming format. Yeah. So the first announcement was Pokemon Quest, a free-to-start game coming to Nintendo Switch and later this year in June to Android and iOS. This game looks and plays very similar to how the Rumble games look. There is many differences. You start with a team of 3 Pokemon, and you don't really have direct control of where they're going. They actually kind of walk and aimlessly on their own, and you're the one who executes the attacks via the Nintendo Switch touchscreen and handheld mode, or of course once it's on the phone, you'll touch the phone screen. Why are you asking this question? Basically, you collect these stones and power-ups, and you kind of add attributes to these Pokemon. You can power them up, you can of course level them up, and then throughout your adventures, you can also collect new Pokemon to be on your team, fill out your Pokedex, and, well, play the game. I don't know. It is free to start. There is some pack expansions that you can purchase, and I'm assuming that you can't play really farther in the story without at least the impression that I have. I recently downloaded it, I haven't yet had a chance to play it anyways, but it looks cute, I guess. You'll also notice a trend with these announcements. This game is the only original 151 Pokemon, like the next one is going to be, and I'm noticing a very strong callback to the nostalgia of Gen 1ers, but I mean, it's a big demographic of the Pokemon fan base. It makes sense a little bit to kind of go down that avenue. Maybe eventually roll out the later generation. But it's fine. I wouldn't have minded just like a Rumble game, because I personally like those games actually a lot. I have a lot of fun with Pokemon Rumble. But this game, we'll see. I still need to play with it a little bit, check it out, try it out, experiment with it, and see if it's for me. It doesn't look like it on surface value, but it looks like it's like a cute game or whatever. And people are also making comparisons that it looks like almost like a Mystery Dungeon game. No, dude. It's not as good as a Mystery Dungeon game. No way. Besides, it doesn't even have anywhere remotely close to the story. Okay, whatever. We're not talking about that. So that was their first announcement, and people reacted hilariously to this, thinking this was the only announcement they had, thinking that this is the only game that's going to be coming out for the Switch, let alone whatever, and this is their new Pokemon title, and people were salty and mad, and they were rubbing it in, baby! And then only a few minutes later, so Pokemon Let's Go, Pikachu, and Eevee Edition are essentially a crossover of the core RPG series with Pokemon Go, kind of bringing the best of both worlds, really improving onto the Go's format. You start off with a customize of your trainer, and you could walk around in your environment. There's a story involved, and you start with your starter Pokemon being either Pikachu or Eevee, but the differences lie where the Go mechanics come in. There has been stated that there is no traditional wild Pokemon encounters or battles, where you'll run into some grass and you'll run into an enemy. You'll actually instead see them on the overworld. You'll see these Pokemon jumping around the grass, and then you walk into them to then, kind of like you do in Pokemon Go, you'll see them on the map, you'll interact with them, and then you'll go into a catching phase. However, to clarify, the traditional battles are still there for trainer battles, gym battles, or however form they're going to take, and I actually think this is a really great way to go about things. Just because, like I previously have said a couple of times now, I kind of get worn down with Pokemon battles when I play the core RPG games. And after a while, I just kind of get bored of it, and like it just kind of starts slugging because it's just battle after battle after battle. It's like walk a few feet, battle, you know, and that's essentially how the gameplay loop is. With this model, they're kind of spacing out the battling to give you more of a break from that gameplay, to offer you more experiences within the overworld and kind of making a more variety of gameplay. This is a change that I'm so grateful for, honestly, and I know it is very weird for core Pokemon fans just because, you know, you're missing out on so many battles. But I think this is actually a really awesome improvement because, like I said, you're not getting forced into battle after battle after battle to where you just kind of get exhausted from it, you know? Besides, the battles that really count and that are actually fun are versing trainers or versing gym battles and stuff like that. While Pokemon encounters, an exception to maybe a few here and there, are not usually the most memorable. They're usually just a spam Scratch or Ember or Water Gun and try to get out of the battle as quick as possible, or just run away. Yeah. Or you buy the spray, which is like in-game, an item to prevent Pokemon battle. It's in the game even. I think this is a really great way to change things, at least for this series, because they have stated that this Pokemon Let's Go is a spin-off series. This is not the mainline series. This is not our new core RPG experience, because I'll talk about that later. Hold on. We'll talk about that in a minute. So like the previous game I just mentioned, this is also set in the Kanto region, with only the original 151 Pokemon. Again, really pulling that nostalgia, that fan appeal of the Gen 1ers. One of the lines in the trailer says, re-experience your first journey again in a new way, or something, paraphrasing. Second time watching it through, that hit me a lot harder than it did the first time, because it's like, it really is. They're really taking the idea of this first experience and they're basically trying to update it with modern gaming techniques, you know? Like they're trying to take that core original experience and bring it to the new generation of kids, you know? And that's kind of what they did with Go, and it really, to many players, kind of felt like a half-baked experience, and still to this day, they're doing their best to improve it, and they have done a lot since the release. It's still kind of the same loop, though. This is so much what I was looking for when they even mentioned a Go. Like, this is what Go should have been. With the RPG elements, bringing back the story, bringing back traditional battles, and they did talk about as well, there's going to be some online functionality with other players. Whether it be battling or trading, I'm assuming those are going to be the two primary things anyways. Another thing, who would have predicted this? But this is a dream come true. As a kid, man, I'm like,
what if it was like an open-ish world, core RPG Pokemon game that you could walk around with a friend and play with?
We got it! That's the thing I'm looking forward to the most. I cannot believe 2-player multiplayer in a Pokemon game. Like, walking around the overworld, maybe customizing a trainer, catching Pokemon together, like, that is amazing. And potentially, if they do incorporate online, maybe you could even walk around with a friend online in your world or theirs or whatever, you know? I understand that this game as a package looks like it's appealing to a lot younger audiences, and it is. But I mean, that's Pokemon, guys. Pokemon is a series for kids. Once you really break it down to it, yes, there is a competitive scene. Yes, a lot of older and mature gamers have found appeal with the series, grown up with it, and are obsessed with it, you know. But at the end of the day, it is a game for kids, and they've always done their best to strive to cater for both audiences, and I think they have here. They also kind of stealthily announced that Pokemon do follow behind you. That's amazing. People have been wanting that since literally ever. I think a lot of people who are upset with this aren't giving this a shot just yet. They need to at least go in this with an open mind, especially with the new announcement coming up following. What am I trying to say? The next thing I want to talk about. So at the end of the presentation, there was one more additional announcement, one more additional thing they talked about, saying that a core RPG mainline Pokemon experience will be coming to Nintendo Switch at the second half of 2019. More than likely a November typical Pokemon release, but they just left it at vaguely that. And they did also clarify that this game they are talking about is the same one that they mentioned last year at E3, where they said they're in development for a new Pokemon game. This is our Gen 8. This is the new generation. This is the new core RPG experience. This is going to be more traditional with its battling, with its wild Pokemon encounters. They'll obviously remix some stuff, kind of like they did with Alola, maybe revamp the series in that kind of way, but this is the game that for the hardcore fans. So to relieve any stresses, Let's Go Pokemon, again, is not going to be replacing your mainline series. They, at the end of the presentation, talked about that's what's coming up next. So 2019, next year, you're going to be getting that experience on Switch. Yes, it is one more year, but I think it's because they're pushing development for these games, obviously, really making Let's Go Pokemon an amazing experience. But then also for the next generation, I think they're going to go really big. They're going to go super big, because they're going to bring over so many Pokemon fans with Let's Go Pokemon. I'm saying it backwards every time. It's Pokemon Let's Go. I can't help. I even say Let's Pokemon Go. Oh my gosh. What I'm trying to say is, Let's Go Pokemon. Oh my gosh, I just said it again. Pokemon Let's Go is going to bring a lot of Pokemon fans on the Switch. Maybe some hardcore fans might be left behind because they're not interested or whatever. That's to each their own, right? But point still stands that a lot of casual fans, a lot of hardcore fans, and a lot of in-between fans, they're going to pick this game up. They're going to be playing on Switch. And then within a year's span, they're going to have another mainline Pokemon experience to play on their Switch. So there's already going to be an existing Pokemon fan base on the Switch, and even more is going to come on after that, once the next game's out. And I think that's something to look forward to. And this was a really great event overall to kind of just show the really forward trajectory of Pokemon when it comes to Nintendo Switch, because really we've been just in radio silence. The only thing we ever heard or talked about was just last year E3 when they talked about, you know, just saying, hey, we're developing something, calm down. Beyond that, they've been really silent, and this is like a really great way, and this is kind of what I was even expecting, you know? Like, we get one super casual game, free-to-play game that they kind of just shovelware and throw out. Boom, we got that out of the way. Next one is a unique experience, a new spin-off. Definitely not what people were expecting, but also it really aligned with those rumors. Shoot, dude, it was nearly perfect. But it was something a little controversial, a little experimental, but it is what it is. And then finally, following up with a reconfirmation of, yes, we have something mainline coming. We have something from the core RPG fans coming. So stay tuned for that. And I think overall this is a really great trajectory, really great path for Pokemon to take. Starting with the super casual stuff and we're progressing and building our way to the core RPG games, because there are actually a lot of Pokemon Go fans that have never played the original games or any of the core RPG series. So the Let's Go Pokemon game can kind of be the bridge between the two, bringing fans to first to the Switch to play Let's Go, and then to the core RPG the following year, to then hopefully bring them on as full Pokemon fans and bring them into the Switch ecosystem to maybe play more games and build the community more. And that's just what we want to do. We want to share this experience with more people. We want to be able to play with more people, and that's what I'm looking forward to most. But what are your thoughts on all this madness? Let me know in the comments. What are your thoughts on these games? Pokemon Quest, take it or leave it. What do you think? Is it worth it even just checking out maybe Let's Go Pokemon? As controversial as it is, I think it's still a really great idea. I think it's a really great experimentation for the series, and we'll see where it goes from here. Once it comes out, we'll see critiques from both casual and hardcore fans. And from there, if they make a sequel, like a Let's Go Pokemon 2, or new additions with new features, whatever, they might be able to remedy or fix some of the things people might have problems with. At the end of the day, it's a spin-off, because now we know the core mainline RPG is coming as well. And what are your thoughts on that? What do you think it's going to be? What form is it going to take? I don't know. I'm pretty certain it's going to be the next generation of Pokemon, which I'm pretty certain is 8. I don't know, I keep getting confused, man. And I think they're going to take a lot of the framework that they have built in Let's Go Pokemon, like the models, the animations, you know, whatever, even maybe the engine, you know, and kind of format that for the new game, right? So then I can honestly see walking Pokemon come back there. I can see, you know, Pikachu being on your head, you know. I can see a lot of the stuff that was established there being brought over in the next game too, but obviously with all of the Pokemon involved rather than just the original 151. And even for now, I mean, like how Pokemon Go has received new Pokemon updates, Let's Go Pokemon could get the same. So it's a wait and see, and I'm really looking forward to what's to come next. But obviously, let me know in the comments, what are your thoughts on everything? Be sure to give this video a big, awesome like. And if you haven't already, definitely subscribe for tons more on Pokemon and all the things related to Nintendo Switch. It's going to be a great year coming up, and we're finally ramping up E3 season. Next week, definitely, or in the next week or so, definitely look forward to my full E3 predictions for Nintendo. Everything they're going to show off, everything I expect for them to see, maybe leaks and rumors, whatever's going to come up in the next week. Before, obviously, I'll be talking about them. And yeah, it's going to be a great trip. I'm looking forward to E3, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Thanks again, guys, so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. See ya!